Thanks for joining us. My name's Alan Haupt. I'm with CA Technologies. I have with me here today Michel Perron, who is with Allscripts Healthcare. You're going to hear a very interesting story here. Their organization is growing rapidly, and they have a very interesting use of our technologies. They are using it to provide services to other healthcare organizations, using it as a consolidation means to bring information in that's useful to deliver their end business. So, turn it over to Michel.
Thank you, Al. Good afternoon. Before I start, I'm going to apologize in advance. I have a cold. I can't hear much, so if I'm yelling, let me know. And I may cough in the microphone, but I'll try to block it. I guess what happens in Vegas does come back with you once in a while. But so you've read the abstract. Today, what we're going to talk about is our story, who's Allscripts, and how managed services has helped Allscripts not only deliver services, IT services, but also acquire new software clients and help our clients deliver lower costs to their services so that they can do transformation within the healthcare. We're going to go over a bit of the delivery model that we have and talk about some of our challenges that we've had with looking at how do we integrate all these systems together and what we decided for our solution and approach to our challenges. So just to give you an idea, the Allscripts story is we're a leading healthcare software provider connecting the community. So from analytics to acute care to ambulatory care, we provide services to the whole spectrum in the healthcare field. So our main focus obviously is to integrate all this data, especially with the whole population health and migration to a lot of data analytics. We have a complete solution of products that allows our clients to deliver patient care services. This represents where we are, so every dot, every larger one, smaller one is an actual client of Allscripts. We're represented in 2,500 hospitals, 45,000 practices. We have over 180,000 physicians using our technologies and over 1,100 new clients recently with our population health management. So our idea was we're helping our clients connect. So as we delivered IT services, we wanted to make sure that we're able to allow our IT teams to connect as well. So just to give you a bit of a perspective on managed services within Allscripts, we're about 17% of the workforce and revenue for our company. This is actually old, as I was saying to Alan, we've been growing so fast that the slides don't keep up. We're now at 1,300 employees with over 350 or so in our global team. We have, although we're an Allscripts organization or division, we do support over 600 different healthcare applications as well. So we're not focused only our applications. We have a lot of competitors' application that we support at some of our sites. And from a perspective of how big we are, if you're in the healthcare, you talk a lot about beds and you talk a lot about providers. So we support over 10,000 beds within the US, and we have over 70 to 75,000 users that we support on our service desk. So this is a list of all the portfolios that we have of services. Obviously, we're into a lot of full IT management services. This is our preferred approach, where we take ownership of the entire IT shop. We also have a lot of application management and what we call staff augmentation, where we actually embed resources on site at the facilities, and through the use of our global operations, we help them deliver technical services that they're looking for. And then from there, we have clinical help desk, desktop support, infrastructure, and remote hosting services that really complement the spectrum of services that we have for our client. In the particular segment, or what we're going to talk about today, we've seen a very large growth in our what we call staff augmentation application management. with all the changes within healthcare, there's been a lot of demands on hospitals with reduced fundings, and the ability for us to come in and help our client has really been a large momentum for us, to a point where we're rolling a new tenant or a new client within our environment almost every month. So it's been a good challenge, but it's been challenging. So to us, what we believe we offer as benefits to our client is we're able to help them with their clinical adoption and transformation. So by reducing their cost for delivery of IT services, we're able to give them back money that then they can transform their organization, invest in clinical systems, and invest in our clinical systems as well. So the investment they make with us allows them to invest more within our company, which is a really good model in order to allow to help your client base. We also help them leverage their market and strategies, because as they grow, we have the ability again to be a bit more flexible for them, help them deliver the meaningful use requirements that are mandated, and allow them to then start thinking more strategically. There will be an era after meaningful use, so hospitals will have to start getting more big data in and really diving into their population health environment. The managed services model allows them to be allows the clients to be flexible. We have our packaging allows them to pick and choose whatever services they want within the agreement without being too conformed onto a structured scope of services. So it allows for flexibility and time to a point where we have been able to reduce an implementation of a hospital on the acute side from 12 to 18 months to almost 6 months with the implementation of some of the global services. And of course, at the end, there are savings for the hospitals that then starts the cycle again for them to transform and buy more of the applications that we provide. So how does that translate to IT services? So back in 2010, we started the implementation of CA Service Desk. At that time, we only had one client, and we had that was interested in starting this, but we knew that we wanted to connect all our full IT outsourcing shops, and also to make sure that we had the ability to deliver services centrally. So we were looking for something that had multi-tenancy, and when we did our review of some of the systems, at that point, Service Desk was definitely starting to lead into this multi-tenancy environment, which was beneficial for us. And this system started growing. We're hosted in our Kansas City data center, so we offer a cloud service to our client to some extent. We have over 30 tenants that are currently on board. I tracked, and I think we may have some people that have left on there, but we track about 2,100 analysts right now using the system. And we have used the tenancy to really replicate a lot of this, a cookie cutter approach to our environment. So we have a lot of messaging templates. We have a lot of event notification. I even laughed when I saw the total amount of incident areas of 8,000. Each tenant has a structure that's exactly the same. We just replicate it over the 30 environments. So the 8,031 incident areas, we're able to consolidate data to look at only a set of about 200. So we know what the information that's flowing through our system. So our goals for this was, how do we deliver services to achieve optimal delivery, but making sure that we fully utilize our global services, that we deliver cost-effective solutions to our clients so that we can, again, reduce their costs and help them get more investment into our products, and then to standardize on common practices. So that was our goal, and it was essential to be able to deliver the same services at every tenant so that we could gain some efficiencies. So our challenges is as we got into different markets, the top line from the right, those were full IT outsourcing shops. So those, we had ownership of IT, we implemented our solution, and that was not too much of a problem. When we got into the application management and the staff augmentation deals, the challenge was that some of the clients already had a system in place, and our challenge was we didn't want to start delivering services with multiple systems. So in many cases, we were able to convince the client to use our tool, and we turned off their system, whether it be Trackit or Remedy, and provided them the full service as we would have used within a full IT outsourcing shop. But in other cases, some clients decided that they'd like to remain with their system. So we had to look at this as a potential threat to our service delivery. Losing control of the intake process with too many systems in place, we could have 4, 5, or 10 different systems coming into our global services, and that would actually become more and more difficult to deliver the services. Operational inefficiencies, if you have multiple systems that are all different, you're not going to be able to standardize, which was one of our primary goals. And then the bigger fear is because our global team was getting more and more involved in some of the delivery, that the loss of potential incidents or requests that would have been detrimental to our service model. So to look at this is we decided to make CA Service Desk the master of all the service, the intake system that we would use. So we started, just to give a background on our situation too, the 30 tenants that we have are all in different domains and different environments. So the web services for us was not an option, as our IT services within Allscripts had concern about security. The client at the hospital had a concern with security because of HIPAA concerns and PHI information or personal health information that could be transmitted. So we decided to take an approach where we're going to use a lot of notification, and as much as we could, if we could deliver the services within Service Desk, that was ideal. If not, we were going to start using methods to notify the other system of tickets and for us to intake some tickets within CA. And this allowed us to start exchanging data with the clients that really insisted that in some cases they would like an update on their side as well as we move along into the ticketing process. Sorry. So as I said, where possible, Service Desk was definitely the ticketing system of choice. Where a client wanted to retain, we started using the mailbox and mailbox rules that came out within the 12.6, I believe, environment, somewhere there. We're at 12.9 right now, and really started looking at when we send information to clients, what do they want to receive, and what do we want to receive from them, and at what stage do we do the transaction, just simply using the mailbox rule. So as a ticket was updated on our side, it sends the information that they require, and then on the other hand, we collect the information that we want, including even getting data for their updated contact information on their side. So what this created is the ability for us to have a stronger relationship within our clients' activities and the deliverables that we offer. They obviously were interested in our services, but in some portion of their environment, their system was also primarily used within their facilities for other types of requests. So we weren't able to remove them completely. The other thing too is it allowed our global team to really expand much more rapidly, because as we acquired new tenants, we were ready to go within a month or so to deliver services within the global environment using Service Desk. And then it allowed us to start using CA Service Desk more as an analytic tool as well for future prospects. So now having the data of more and more hospitals, we're able to really have a good profile on when we go see new clients for new opportunity. We can anticipate how many types of calls they're going to get based on their size, their physician, their nursing component, workforce, as well as just the total FTE count. So we're able to go in and have discussions with clients that are not tracking information that well using the elements that we've built within our tool. So what that has done to us is growth. So we've had a tremendous amount of growth over the last 4 years. As you can see, starting in 2010, we had over 15,000 tickets that were being opened for the first year. Late November, I believe, or September was our live date for that first client. So it was a slow progression. Then we came along our own IT environment, decided to be a tenant to the system, and we added Allscripts within the environment, and then we saw the growth for 2011. And then for 2012, 13, and 14 year to date, we really have been looking at a growth just as pure new business that has been coming in within the service management tool. And as I was saying to Alan, we have 3 clients that are not on this map yet that are getting ready to be onboarded as well. And recently, we had to make a decision within our remote hosting facilities that have over 100 clients on their own, and they were looking for a solution to get away from the corporate CRM that we use. And we were able to incorporate that CRM within Service Desk, and we will be transitioning these 100 clients as well to the ticketing system. So at the end, the environment that we have will grow even more in 2014 and 15. And what I think is exceptional for what we've done is we've been able to do this with a very limited amount of resources. So we have 3 resources within the managed services in IT that make the whole CA Service Desk delivery model. Very, very tenant-based. We have a lot of tenant administrators at each site that do their work, but the integration onto one solution has really limited the amount of support that we needed in order to accomplish this. So now that we have our pattern down path fairly well, we're able to turn a new client within a month. All the systems are set up. The cloud delivery that we use, like the private cloud, really helps drive new opportunities. And the minute we have Service Desk implemented, we're able to deliver services within our global operation. And that is what has really helped us in increasing the business value for our clients. I believe that this is all I have.
So, do we have any questions that you'd like to ask Michel? I'm going to start it off then, and then we'll see. I'd like to know, with all these different organizations possibly using different help desks out there, tying back into your central help desk, was there any latency they see, any issues they encounter with the communications between the two? Is there any impacts there?
So what we found, and Jose, who's our technical resource that has been working on that, would attest, the simplicity of sending information and receiving from CA Service Desk was somewhat unbelievable compared to dealing with RemedyForce, ServiceNow, all these systems out there, because it seemed that what we had to do to communicate was configure. What they had to do was code. So it has been painful for receiving information from the client, but it's all been on the client side. Our side has been very easy to implement. The mailbox rule have been very successful, but quite often we wait for the client to get their coding done to be able to test. And just an hour ago, we were actually talking about, we're at a stage with a client that they finally did their coding, but now we're about to start change management with them, which will introduce another delay on their side. But it's been very simple as long as the other system can reciprocate. Yeah.
Thank you. Any questions? I'll bring the microphone back. I was waiting for this big moment.
Question for you, Michel. What would prevent you from having your clients not run their service management platform today and getting on board with Service Desk? Because it seems as though they have a cost associated with what they're running, and they're probably paying a small fee for your service as well. Wouldn't it behoove them to kind of get rid of their system as well and just leverage the multi-tenant system you have in place?
In most cases, I would say that's, like I said, we try to promote this as a first solution. The one thing about healthcare is there's a lot of investment in clinical systems, but when it comes to IT, we have found a lot of systems out there that I'm sure at some point were freeware that evolved into being a ticketing system. So the clients that we have quite often don't have a solution that we can present to them. So their solution is not as robust. And with the methodology we've invested in, with the best practices that we deliver, they gain all of that all at once with our services. So we'd rather give the whole package and embed this in our costs than to have to deal with another system, because process-wise, we're not too sure they're able to deliver with their current environment. So it makes it much more efficient for both parties, for them and for us. So it is definitely the preferred solution.
Any other questions? I'll ask one more then. Multi-tenancy, you mentioned that you leverage the same structure across your customers. Did I hear that you sort of impose that on them? I don't know, you said something about multi-tenancy and they leverage the same structures that you imposed, or?
Correct.
Is that an issue for them, or do they push back on that?
At first. So we introduce, with the approach that we use, we also introduce new processes. So a lot of people, most people have heard of IDLE, but when you start implementing differences between incidents, requests, problem, and change, a lot of people have a resistance to this at the beginning. So by moving forward with us, like I said, they're getting the full package. So we're able to help them get themselves feel better about their IT environment as well and their IT delivery, because even if we have a very small engagement, they're able to receive the same installation as if a full IT managed services engagement would. So the ability for us to deliver this to them and repeat consistently allows us, we're able to communicate and have discussions with clients that other clients in the same tenant base are managing at a different level as they are. And then when we look at our weekly metrics, we actually track first call resolution at all the clients. And then we're able to share that data with the clients to see how they're not coping with the other types of metrics that we're utilizing. And we're quite open to share all the data with all the clients we have so that they understand where they have to pick up on some of the service delivery. In some cases, it's our own team. Then we make sure that we keep track of some of the key performance indicators to make sure that we continue to deliver the success and the delivery. So it has been beneficial for both.
Yeah, that's not, sharing of that, the aggregated data metrics sounds like a big value to them. Or is there any pushback in terms of them providing that data or letting you take that data and use it in your summarizations?
No, most clients actually appreciate being able to see other data, other people's data. We aggregate it, so we don't really share the individual records, but most clients actually enjoy seeing the information that we provide. And in 2015, we're just starting the sharing of the knowledge database, where every tenant is going to be able to post commonly to the group from a tenancy perspective. If it's an issue related to a tool, even an Allscripts tool that everyone should know about, we'll be able to share that, but then each tenant will also have their own repository for their own personal knowledge documents. So our goal, like our company goal, is to share and help people in their data. So we're trying to do this with IT as well, making sure that we have a collection of everything for the tenants. And so far, we haven't had anybody complaining about it. So.
Very interesting. Sounds like a community of healthcare providers.
A community of services.
Community
yes.
of services, yeah. Any other questions? All right. Well, I want to thank you for persevering with your cold there, and appreciate your session. And thank you for coming today. Make sure you fill out the evaluation forms. If you have any more questions, you can catch Michel before he runs down the aisle there.
Party time. Thanks.